And then if you're like me, you try so hard. It's just like, what do I gotta do, man, to prove to you that I'm worth the forehead kiss, that I'm worth your time? Like, why don't you choose me? What I won't do is I won't sit up here and act like I was the biggest Kobe fan on earth. What I won't do is tell you that I followed him up until his final game back in 2016, I think it was. I'm not gonna tell you that. What I will tell you is that I was very much a casual fan of Kobe Bryant. I was very aware of who he was as a man. I did get the opportunity to see him play back when he was number 8. You know what I'm saying? I was emotional. I was crying the other day, and I felt crazy because it's like, bruh, how am I crying over this? And I don't even know these people for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, these ain't none of my kids. Like, why am I crying? But what it was for me was that, like, damn, that's a good dad. You know, not that I want anything to happen to bad dads, but it's just like, I didn't even know that kind of love that Kobe was giving those girls was a real thing. My dad has never really just like been present. Like, he's never been. He's a girl dad. But there were so many times, he just was not there when I needed him. Just not there. Much of my childhood, I was blessed to have a stepfather who I've known since I was 2. So there was always, or he's been in my life since I was 2. So there was always a father figure. For a long time, my daddy issues were dormant. They laid there. They weren't really, giving me any trouble. It makes me sad because I want that kind of love. I think that I've done so much without like having my biological dad there to kind of give me what I needed. That is low key a little too late. That's why I was emotional, because it's just like, so here's this good dad, here's this guy, this black man who loved being a father, this black man who poured into his daughters, this black man who really invested, you know what I'm saying? Not just monetarily, not just like resources and money, but actually time, most precious commodity there is. Like, that's what a dad is supposed to do. All I wanted was my daddy. Like, what could I have done? You know what I'm saying? What could I have done differently to prove to you that I was worthy? Like, what? Like, why don't you want me? Like, what did I do? Like, is it just kind of like out of sight, out of mind? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there a reason for the missed birthdays? Is there a reason for, just not picking up the phone and just kind of like see where my head is at, to just kind of like bestow wisdom upon me? Like, and I hide behind like the image of being an independent woman, because I am, but sometimes that's not my choice. Sometimes I feel like, as black women specifically with daddy issues, it is a defense mechanism. And there's so many of us out there who, their dads just simply didn't choose them, and I'm one of them. And then you find yourself kind of repeating those same things. You find yourself getting with these fuck niggas. You find yourself, just doing all kind of stuff that you didn't really know could have been prevented, or could have just gone a different way had your daddy just poured into you a little more. And I don't care like how my daddy feels, what my daddy says about this. Like, I don't care, because this is my story, this is my perspective, and I feel like I've given my dad opportunities to make things right. I still always want my daddy. Like, I always want him to kind of be the daddy that I think he should be, even though I might not get it. I'm always rooting for my daddy. Like, I'm always wanting my daddy to come through. So when he texted me the day after the loss of Kobe and his daughter and the others aboard, the helicopter, I was, I'm gonna hit you right back, Daddy. I love you. Like, I'm feeling it too. Like, everybody's in their emotions, everybody in their feelings. So he texted me. He said, I love you, with the heart emoji. I responded right away and said, I love you too, Daddy, very much, even though you weren't always there for me. I forgive you. I always talk to God about you, and I thank him for you. We should both just do better and really try to strengthen our relationship. Life is too short. That is what I said. I'm acknowledging the fact that, everything with our relationship ain't been peaches and cream, but I'm willing to work at it. And this is not the first time I've told my dad this. I've said, hey, let's do counseling. Hey, let's do whatever. Especially like when I lived with him when I was in college. So he knows. And so I said all of that. And my daddy responded. One love, one love, one love. First of all, don't nobody even say one love no more, Daddy. Like, nobody even says that. What do that mean? Love is an action, right? So I was triggered because my dad has told me on several occasions, that he loves me. When you don't come through, when you're not willing to really kind of see how your daughter's feeling, when you're really not invested in the whole process of making sure and reassuring that she knows she's worthy. To me, it's like, okay, you can say you love me, but like, do you really like love me? And I think for Gianna, there was no question. There was no question that her daddy loved her. The way they would embrace each other, the way Kobe looked at her, like, if I just had a fraction of that, like if my dad was there in that capacity, I often wonder how my life would have played out, like what my decisions, would have been like. It's important to take things from situations that happen. Don't let stuff be not for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what that means. It just sounded like it went there. But you know what I'm saying? Like, don't not pull anything from it. Like, if you got daddy issues, work through those daddy issues. Understand why things like this trigger you. I just really want to thank Kobe for really, really, really being a paradigm for fatherhood, for black fatherhood, for just excellence, both in career and with family life. Um, and I really think the world is such a better place to have even only known Kobe, to just know that kind of girl dad is out there. Because